Tonight, I want to tell you a story. A small road, the kind you drive past without ever really looking at it. 2 lanes, tall trees on both sides. Get comfortable. Headphones on, lights off, and please, don't blow out the candle until this is over. By day, it's just a road. But at night, some people swear they've seen a woman, standing at the edge of the road, wearing a white dress. They call her the Bride in White. Years ago, she was on her way to church to get married. She never arrived. They found her that evening. Since then, someone always swears they've seen her on that road. Most people think it's just a legend, but the people in this story don't, because they saw her. 3 friends, Ryan, Emma and Josh. A road trip, 2 weeks, no real plan. That day they'd been at a lake nearby, and now they were heading back to their motel for the night. Except they got lost. One wrong turn, then another. Josh was driving, Emma was checking a map that kept losing signal, and Ryan, in the back, kept saying he'd told them to turn earlier. They laughed about it, the kind of laugh that hides a little nervousness underneath. More than 2 hours of driving in circles. The sun had gone down without any of them noticing, and now it was real dark. The kind you only get on back roads with no streetlights for miles. "Wait, I think this is the right road," Emma said. Josh turned. Everyone relaxed, just a little. Then Ryan, from the back seat, saw something far ahead. A pale spot on the edge of the road, almost white against the dark. What is that? As they got closer, it took shape. A person, standing still. It looked like they needed help. Josh slowed down. "Maybe she needs a ride," Emma said. The closer they got, the clearer she became. A woman, motionless at the edge of the asphalt. A white dress, long, all the way to her feet. Josh stopped the car a few feet away. Engine running, headlights on her. No one got out. Ryan rolled his window down. "You okay?" She didn't answer. She didn't move. Then, slowly, she raised an arm and pointed at a spot on the road ahead of them. All 3 leaned toward the window to look. An empty stretch of road, nothing there. They turned back toward her. She was gone. Where did she go? How did she disappear that fast? We all saw her, right? Emma couldn't sit still. She got out to check the tree line with her phone light. It was summer, but she felt a cold that made no sense. Goosebumps on her arms. She kept thinking, she couldn't have gotten that far. Nobody could. Ryan called her back. "Get in the car. Let's get to the motel and call the police from there. No signal out here." They drove on in silence. A few minutes later, the cold came back. This time, inside the car. "Did you turn up the AC?" Ryan asked. Josh shook his head. "I didn't touch anything." Then Emma saw her again. Further ahead this time. But something was different. She looked angrier. Josh stopped. It happened just like before. The raised arm, the pointed finger. They looked. When they turned back, she was gone. This time, no one got out. Josh just drove, faster than before. They decided not to stop again, no matter what they saw. Then Ryan turned toward the back window and saw her. Not ahead of them, behind. They reached the motel without another word. They called the police, who said they'd check the area. The motel owner knew something was wrong the moment he saw their faces. They told him everything. He said the police wouldn't find anything. Why not? Because she's dead. He handed them their keys and their room number and wouldn't say another word, no matter how they pushed. They were shaken, but tired, and it was late, so they went to sleep. That's where the worst part began. Josh. He left his bag in the car. He went out alone, across the almost empty lot, under a flickering neon sign. He reached the window to open the door, and saw her, sitting in the back seat, exactly where Emma had been, still, staring straight ahead, like she was waiting for someone. Josh couldn't move, couldn't scream. He closed his eyes for a second. 2. When he opened them again, the seat was empty. He grabbed the bag and walked back faster than he wanted to admit. Emma. She got in the shower, needing to wash the day off. Hot water, steam on the mirror. She was almost okay for a few minutes. Then she felt cold. Not the water, herself. She wiped a corner of the fogged mirror, and behind her, reflected, was the woman, standing near the bathroom door. Emma didn't turn around right away. When she finally did, no one was there. But the door she'd locked before her shower was open. Ryan. He'd stayed in the room with the TV on, just for the noise. The screen flickered. A signal issue, he told himself. He looked up to check. And there, by the dresser, was her. Not looking at the screen, looking at him. His legs wouldn't move. All he could hear was his own heartbeat. The TV shut off on its own, and when it came back on a second later, the room was empty. They found each other in the hallway. No one had to say anything. One look was enough. They knew. They went to the front desk together, but the man from before was gone. Behind the counter, an older woman who looked at them like she had no idea what they meant. They told her everything, fast, over each other. She just stared, then said maybe they'd had too much to drink. Josh asked to switch rooms. Not possible, we're full tonight. The lot outside had barely any cars in it. No one believed her. But there was nothing else to say. So they left, that same night. Emma, telling this story later, would say it was the worst decision of her life, second only to taking the wrong road in the first place. They got back in the car. They just wanted to reach another town, an hour away, maybe less. Silence for the first few minutes. Then a sound against the side of the car. A scrape. Long. Metallic. Josh checked the mirror. Nothing. It came back, louder, like nails against metal. Emma screamed. Something had scratched her arm through the cracked window. 3 deep red lines, wrist to elbow. She slammed it shut, hands shaking. Josh sped up. He didn't care about the road anymore. He just wanted to get away. That's when they saw her again. In the middle of the road, all at once, a second before the headlights caught her. Josh swerved. Glass, bent metal, the world spinning. Then, silence. Josh came to first, blood on his forehead, Emma breathing hard beside him, Ryan struggling to move in the back. They stumbled out, and saw her again, standing a few feet from the wreckage, still. They didn't think. They didn't talk. They ran. Into the woods, in the dark, no idea where. Just away. At some point, without meaning to, they lost each other. The trees, the dark, the fear had pulled them apart. And something, somewhere in those woods, had started following them, one at a time. Ryan. He ran without knowing which direction, branches tearing at his arms and face. Something moved behind him. Too fast for an animal. He turned for a second. It was already on top of him, climbing his back, his shoulders, weightless. Cold hands at his neck, his hair, pulling him back. He fought without thinking, pushed, twisted free. Then, nothing. He didn't stop to check what it had been. He just ran. Emma. She reached a stream, icy water at her ankles. A hand grabbed her hair from behind. Before she could scream, her face was already underwater. The cold burned her lungs. She fought something that didn't feel like it had a body to hit. Just when she thought she couldn't hold on, the grip loosened. She pulled herself up, coughing, and ran without looking back. Josh. He didn't see anything coming. Just a scream right at his ear. Not quite human. And somehow, at the same time, exactly human. It went straight into his bones. He covered his ears, dropped to his knees, sure he'd go deaf. Then, silence. He got up shaking and ran again, without knowing why anymore. They found each other by chance in a clearing, hurt, out of breath. None of them thought they'd make it. That's when they saw lights between the trees, faint, flickering. Candles. They crept closer, hidden behind a bush. A group of people in a circle, symbols on the ground. Blood on some of their faces, maybe from an animal killed right there, not long before. Ryan whispered that maybe they could ask for help. None of them felt sure about it. They tried to slip past unnoticed. Then a voice behind them. "I found someone!" They were on them in a second, and up close, they didn't look like people anymore. They looked like monsters. They broke free somehow and ran deeper into the woods. Then a light, warm, yellow. Windows of a small cabin, isolated among the trees. They knocked, hard. The door opened. Inside, a group of people waiting, almost like they'd been expected. They were let in, the door locked behind them. An older woman sat across from them and listened to everything. The road, the woman in white, the motel, the woods. Then she explained. The woman had really existed. Years ago, on her way to her wedding, there'd been an accident at that exact spot. She died there, alone. They didn't find her until evening. Her spirit had wandered that road ever since. But she's not evil, the woman said. She never was. She scratched my arm, Emma said, showing the marks. A woman from the group looked closely at them. Are you sure it was her spirit that did this? None of them answered right away. Then they started to remember, to piece it together. That thing in the woods, the one that had chased them, climbed on Ryan, nearly drowned Emma, screamed into Josh's ear. It hadn't been wearing white. It was dark, a shadow almost, tall, red eyes. And Josh remembered something else. Before he'd even seen the woman on the road, that first night, he'd caught a glimpse of a tall figure near the car. Out of the corner of his eye, he'd thought it was just exhaustion. The older woman nodded, like she'd been waiting for this. That wasn't her. She was trying to protect you. From whoever was in those woods. From what they called, in that forest, by another name. It's not the first time, a man added. Travelers stop on that road and go through the same thing. That group has tried to take someone before. The family in the cabin helped them. Just a few people, practicing what they called white magic. Different candles, different symbols. A small, quiet ritual to pull away whatever had attached itself to the three of them that night. Then they were guided back to the main road, far from those woods. All three survived, but none of them ever really went back to who they were before. Emma still feels cold out of nowhere sometimes. Josh can't drive at night on country roads. Ryan doesn't sleep with the lights off. Something from that night never fully left them. Even today, people keep disappearing in those woods. The next story is coming. Sleep well, night souls.